It's Ultimate Combat Radio, brought to you by Aztec Highway on 1280 and 97.5 The Zone.
Welcome back to Ultimate Combat Radio, broadcasting live from the studios of 1280 The Zone. I'm Mike Stidham, talking a little mixed martial arts. This segment is brought to you by Aztec Highway. Get it your way at the highway, WDFA. And I understand they still have some Christmas specials going on down there at Aztec Highway. And I know, Joe, you know firsthand that Aztec Highway's got some bomb equipment down there. And we had a chance to talk to Chris just briefly during the break about what he felt was the best equipment. Punchtown, I think, is what he thinks is, and I have to agree with that because you got some of that stuff.
Yeah, I agree. They have the best equipment in town. You can go into their little cage and you don't have to go online and pay your shipping fees and everything. All the best equipment you can find is in the cage Aztec Highway.
So it's possible that the folks at Everlast have nudie pictures of Dana White or something, that they were able to manipulate their way into getting the best equipment of the year.
Obviously.
All right. Okay, so let's move on. SureDog.com has him rated as the number 9 welterweight in the world. He's coming off a huge win over Rick Story in UFC 139, and he's joining us on the program, Martin Kapmann. Martin, how are you?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. How are you?
I am just happy we've got you on the line. Last week it was such a heartbreaker because what a great fight. We were so stoked to talk to you. So welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
That was a big win, man. It's got to feel great. Can you tell us a little bit about the fight, how you feel like it went, and then how was it that you were able – is that how you envision things in the fight?
I mean, I would have really liked to get that finish. You know, I want to get that finish, and you know, because I'm a little tired of going to the judges' decision because the judges don't seem to like me too much. So I really wanted to get a finish this time. So I'm disappointed I couldn't get that in, but I'm really happy and relieved to get a win. You know, and in regards to the fight, I think I got punched a little bit too much in the first round, more than I wanted to. You know, I know he was going to come out hard and come out swinging. That, you know, usually he always comes out hard right from the get-go. So, I mean, there's no excuse. I anticipated that, but I didn't. I don't know if I need to get warmed up a little bit or something. But I got punched a little bit more than I wanted to that first round. But second and third round, I started feeling really comfortable, and you know, I could take over control of the fight.
Well, the judges may not like you that well, but the fans sure do. Your fights are always super exciting, and they've always lived up to whatever expectations. What do you attribute that to? And I mean, this fight, you felt like you got punched a little too much, but you're a very exciting fighter, a very accurate striker. Where does all that come from?
Thanks. Well, man, I'm just hard training. Maybe the fans like me because I get punched too much. I don't know.
Well, now
makes for some good fights, right?
You seem to like you're always getting into these slugfests. You know, some guys like that. Apparently, you're telling me that's not your. You'd rather get into get some groundwork.
No, I mean, I'd rather not get punched at all. I'd rather have me do all the punching, you know. But when it's a fight, sometimes that's not how it goes, you know. But I definitely prefer to do the punching and not being punched. But you know,
I guess that makes sense.
It's a fight, you know. So sometimes you can't. You're gonna usually either punch or two, you know, unless you're lucky to get in there and get a quick knockout or a quick submission, you know. But I mean, I like you know, ground fighting, wrestling, stand up, whatever. I feel really well rounded. I feel confident in my skills where the fight is. So, you know, it depends where I can see a weakness in my opponent too, you know.
Martin, I had a couple of students fight Ricky Story, and both of them said the same thing with a lot of passion, and these are both strong guys, and they said he is without a doubt the strongest person they've ever tangled up with. Did you have a chance to experience that in the fight, and do you agree with that statement? I
mean, everybody's been telling me before the fight, you know, that you know, how strong he was, but I wasn't, you know, he wasn't really that. I mean, he was strong, but he wasn't. Maybe because everybody's been saying how strong he was before the fight, I was expecting him to be really strong. So, you know, I wasn't really. I didn't think he was that strong at all. But I work out. I had a good sparring partner. It's a big. He's an 85er, big strong guy, and I'm used to working with him. So, and he's really strong. So, compared to that, it wasn't nothing.
Now, your next opponent is said to be Thiago Alves. Where do you think you have the advantage against him? I mean, he's an incredible striker. Do you think you have the advantage in the striking with him?
I don't know. We'll see, man. He's got really good striking. So I love to go in there and mix it up and see how it goes. You know, I think I can definitely do some damage standing up, and I know he's got heavy hands, so I can't go in there and be punched as much as I did in my first round here with Story. So then I might end up getting rocked, and I want to win the fight, and I'm gonna win the fight. So I'm gonna pick him apart. I want to pick my shots and beat him up.
Does it give you a little bit more confidence knowing that you just beat Rick Story, who had just beaten Thiago Alves going into that fight?
I mean, yeah, MMA math don't always add up. Sometimes a by guy will beat a guy and like that, but that doesn't always add up. So, I mean, that's the past, and that's one fight. But our fight could be completely different. But of course, I'm going to go in there and get the win as well.
Do you think a win over Alves will put you in title contention?
I think it'll definitely, get me up there. I think, I've had 2 losses where you can make a strong case for me winning those fights, especially Diego Sanchez fight. I feel I got robbed big time. I feel I really got screwed by the judges, and I beat him up. And I think you watched the fight, you know that. And so I don't feel that was a loss, even though it's a loss on my record. But I beat him up, and I won that fight. I should have won it, but. I still lost my record, so I got to go in and get some more wins, and work my way back up. And I think beating Rick Story, who's a really legit welterweight, definitely sending in the right direction. And beating Alves is going to do the same.
Speaking of the Diego Sanchez fight, it's been reported that you received 4 times the expected bonus amount for that fight. First of all, can you confirm that? And then, secondly, that's kind of indicative that somebody else thought you won that fight. And how does that make you feel about the organization as a whole, if they're willing to do something like that?
I got a couple with a pretty nice bonus, so that's always nice. It's always nice to get some money for your effort, but in the end, I'd rather have to win. I'd rather have the win.
Oh, I hear you. All right. Well, now I guess back to that question. Does that make you any more endeared to the UFC? Do you feel like they took care of you there, or is it just kind of a gesture that you put on a great fight and you deserved it?
No, I mean, I really appreciate all the opportunities UFC's given me. It's always been a dream of mine to fight in the UFC, so I'm thankful that I'm fighting in their organization, and the best organization in the world, and I love being part of the UFC. And them taking care of me is just means they appreciate my fights, and I'm really happy about that.
Well, it seems like you've gotten real close to a showdown with GSP, and for whatever reasons, injuries or scheduling, whatever's happened, it hasn't come to fruition just yet. How important is that to you? And then have you experienced any frustration as a result of it not happening yet?
I mean, like I said, I've been more frustrated with losing some tough judges' decisions. I think that's frustrating. But of course, I'd love to fight GSP or whoever has the title. I think GSP is the champ for a reason. He's truly a great, remarkable fighter. But just like anybody else, he can be beat as well. If you catch him clean on his chin, it's going to go down. Matt Serra showed that, and also I think there's other weaknesses in his game. But I mean, that said, he's a great champion and he's a great fighter, and he's the champ for a reason.
And I think that the UFC agrees with everything that you're saying, that, look, you've had a couple losses in a row and they kept bringing you back is because you put on a great show. And I do think you have that puncher's chance with anybody and beyond a puncher's chance with most. So I want to wish you the best of luck against Thiago Alves, and hopefully you get that big shot you're looking for.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
On the show.
All right, man. Good stuff, man. Martin Kapmann, and this guy, I really do think he's got a shot. That welterweight division is so packed with talent, but I think he's got a puncher's shot with just about anyone.
Yeah, and beating Rick Story, that's a big accomplishment. That is one tough dude.
All right, well, back to the poll question, and I wanted to ask him this, and I forgot to ask. I wanted to see what he thought about the MMA awards, but the MMA awards were this past week. I would like to hear from you, our listeners, what your picks are. We did have a texter that said, come on, Mike. Henderson, who didn't beat Fedor? Jones made Shogun look like an amateur. You know what? I can't argue with you one bit, man. I agree. You know what? I can't. I read that as you're right, man. I don't mind admitting when I'm wrong, but I'm not completely wrong. It was a good text. It was a great text. I wish I could give you a prize. I'm going to give you a date with Robertina. There you go. You're the big winner. All right, we're going to hear your answers to the poll question. We're going to break down the Ultimate Fighter. We got a lot more stuff on Aztec Highway's Ultimate Combat Radio when we come back.